of Ghana are mentioned. We're going to look at this report critically and speak to some security experts so we may understand how real the threat is to Ghana. My name is Nuong Falong. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we continue with the discussion. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Spotlight, still on violent extremism. Now, the West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism is warning that Ghana is at a high risk of terrorism following pockets of civil, political and social unrest in parts of the West African sub-region, which is Ghana. It says that there are threats of violent extremism that are heavily descending towards the coastal states from the Sahel regions, and that Ghana could not be spared. For that matter, given happenings in Ghana's neighboring countries, it contains all of these in a report that was released by the Center for Counter-Extremism, which states that Ghana's exposure to violent extremism is becoming real and providing a historical and analytical context to these threats. So it gives us a bit of background to these threats. But I am not the one going to speak to these issues. I'm going to the phone where we have Adib Sani, who's a security expert. We also have another security expert joining us, who is Adam Bona. He's a security expert. Also, Nana Yawakwada, he's executive director of the Bureau of Public Safety. He's also going to be speaking to some of the issues highlighted in this report that we're looking at. Let me quickly go to Zoom. Let me see if Adam Bona is there yet. Good evening, Mr. Bona, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. So the report we are discussing, I hope you've seen it.
Yes.
Okay. Can you just give us a quick overview of what you notice in the report, please?
Well, what I noticed in the report, has to do with probably some of the things we haven't been able to deal with, most especially along the northern belts, the border towns, along that area. These are things that repeatedly we have highlighted and we have spoken about. And so seeing that in the report, I thought that was something that was probably the leadership of this country might have to want to have a look. And so these are, this is one thing that probably caught my attention in the report, yeah.
Let me go to one of the things that was said in the report. And since you're mentioning unresolved conflicts, it says Ghana has a high number of prolonged unresolved chieftaincy and ethnic conflicts and tensions, particularly in the northern regions. And then the inherently high exploitative capacity of extremists imply that these
a series of them that we haven't dealt with. And it is so because you cannot actually divorce or, delink the political or politicians from this, or the political establishment from it. Largely, so if the little meager resources we have is used in trying to resolve conflicts, then your guess is as good as mine. Which doctor would want to go and work probably in Boku today? If you are a houseman, you've just finished, your housemanship starts and you are supposed to be posted, you really want to go there. If you are a nurse and today you have to be posted there, you would want to say, no, everybody would be saying, do you want to go there? If you were
heading across, which some of them have political linkages, and this coupled with underdevelopment of some of the areas makes the threat even more serious.
it makes those areas very fertile ground for extremists to come in. Extremists are very, exploitative. They look at very vulnerable people. They look at you are drinking dirty water. You don't have maybe schools. You don't have hospitals. You don't have food. So they come in, giving you some borehole. They come in establishing some schools and bringing in teachers who they know. And it's just a matter of time. Their ideologies. So Burkina Faso is Niger, Mali, and the Sahel. In fact, it's not so far away from Ghana. And
right.
As far as I'm concerned, I would say that it's just a matter of time if we don't put our acts together. Because then youth unemployment is widespread, underdevelopment is widespread, lack to write home about. So they are, they multi.
One of the directors, I think, is the author of the report, Mr. Momoni. And the contents of the report is, I wouldn't say scary. In that same report, the authors seem to have made very good suggestions for the state. And I believe that if the National Security Minister is reading, if the Defense Minister is reading, it's time for them to begin to digest this report and see how best they can apply themselves to this report to ensure that we do not really come to that place where we, as a country, we will be engulfed in violent extremism or in activities of violent extremism. And we are looking at push factors to countering or prevent pull factors. So some of those factors, captured in this category are things that as a country, I want to call some of them very, very low-hanging fruits that we can, take steps to act on them to ensure that we do not come to that extreme level where we would have to now deal with matters of, countering terrorism or countering violent extremism, because if we have to counter, it costs so much money to the taxpayer. I believe that as a country, we should be looking at prevention. And if we want to look at the prevention level, it's time to begin to consider the push factors, lack of social, economic opportunities for the youth, marginalization and discrimination of some groups of people within the same jurisdiction. We need to look at governance factors, human rights, and rule of law violations. These are, and of course, prolonged conflicts like my colleague Adam Bona was making reference to. These are things that we need to look at them. And if we have to look at them with a mindset of prevention, it is better to look at them with a mindset of prevention than with a mindset of countering it, because it is way, way cheaper to take preventive steps than to attempt to take, the countermeasures, because that is going to cost us economically, it's going to cost us socially, it's going to cost even our international image as a country. And so that's where, as a bureau, we would want the state to begin to look at.
Danayao, you see, there are some occurrences that happen outside of Ghana, which are...
Economies are all intertwined. So today there is war in Crete that with each destabilized to isolate itself or insulate itself from what is happening in other jurisdictions.
Back to you shortly. I hope Adam Bona is also still on the line. I'll be back in a moment. But Adib is on the line. Let me just quickly engage him. Adib, good evening and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Noah.
Yes, Adib, I'm sure you have taken a good look at this report that we're discussing. But you see, there have been certain specific incidences that have been cited. Adam Bona was talking about Karaga, and then there's an unresolved issue regarding Western Togoland separatists, which was dealt with. I'm not sure if it was dealt with in a way that it will not return, because it also seems to show up every now and again. How do we contain these problems? Because the problems exist. Politics might keep poking them in different ways, but how do we ensure that they don't spill over?
Well, thank you very much, and a very good evening to my senior colleagues, Ms. Dr. Adam Bona and Nanaya Akwada. Well, it goes without saying that we have, the issue of border security, as for this, we've spoken about it over and over again. I don't know to what extent work has been done, but I do know that something is being done, and I think that there's room for improvement. More has to be done, especially with these, illegal border crossings. The last time I was speaking with a security officer, he said that when you move from Accra, by the time you get to Aflawa, I think there are about 150 illegal crossings and all that. When you go to the north, there are a lot of illegal crossings. On a daily basis, people come in, they go out without being subjected to any form of security checks. I have been all the way to Saboba, the River Oti area, and you have movement without any checks. And just recently, someone sent me a video of 2 Kalashnikovs. I don't know whether Dr. Adam has seen it, or Nanaya Akwada, hidden in a sack of grains with magazines. And the way it was concealed, it will be difficult for you to tell unless you have intelligence, you see. So you can imagine such a sack and 1,000, sacks of grains. How would you be able to tell? So intelligence is also key. And I think going forward, we need to give attention to these areas.
Wow, so many areas to tackle in order to reduce this threat of violent extremism. That was Adib San, he's a security expert. You're still watching Spotlights on MX24 television. If you're just joining us, if you're on the move, we're also very active online at MX24GH on all social media platforms. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, Spotlight continues. Please stay with us.
Kofi Osopepra Ministries presents Kofi Osopepra Live in Concert, a night of great music, worship, and launch of the Father's Gift album. Guests include Neela, Ife Grace, Luigi McLean, and the legendary Mrs. Amy Newman. Date Sunday 22nd May 2022. Time 4 p.m. at the National Theatre, Accra. Standard tickets 60 Ghana cedis. And this Woodin Total Family Health Organization, DSTV Ghana, I Pay Ghana, Joy FM, Lucozade, Fan Milk, Ocean Spray and Vitrac, Meridian Natural Mineral Water, Always Sanitary Pad, Sumovision, Vena Natural Mineral Water, Ines Fly and Series. Get your Woodin fabric from their shops in Accra and win a ticket to the concert. Media partners MX24. Every time is worship time.
Describe the God you are.
Hi there. My name is Kwame Eopoko. I'm the speaker, and that's all I'm going to say about this for now. Now, even though I'm here to talk about an event, I don't think that's what you really want to hear about. So let me talk about something that you and I can relate to. Just another summit is a way to say to the thousands of young people out there that you too can do the impossible, that your dream is valid, that the thing that they said cannot be done can be done. And so meet me right inside the UPS auditorium on Saturday the 14th of May. Let's make history together.
The 6th edition of the annual Kumasi Fashion Week returns in collaboration with the African Makeup and Beauty Fair this May. From the Thursday 12th to the Sunday 15th May 2022, live at the Kumasi City Mall. Admission is free. Get ready for the best of fashion and beauty the continent has to offer in Kumasi. Come and experience shopping, education, sales, demos, giveaways, competitions, Mega discounts, special fashion installations and thrilling runway shows from both international and local brands you know and new ones you are going to love. Tickets available for the runway shows selling at 80 Ghana cedis per day and 150 Ghana cedis and 200 cedis for full package and VIP.
Welcome back to Spotlight on MX24 television. Thank you for staying with us. We're still discussing Ghana and the threat of violent extremism. On Zoom, we have Adam Bona, he's a security expert. We also have Adib Sani, a security expert. Let me go to Adam Bona. Mr. Bona, when you look at the report, there's something that's mentioned here that's been very controversial on social media. There's a mention here that there's a determination of social activists, such as the Fix the Country campaigners, to exploit the security, economic, and governance challenges. And this adds to the tall list of drivers compounding youth uprising.
Was the motive to sensitize citizens, the youth especially, about good governance, corruption, injustices, some of the injustices we have in the system, and all that, unemployment and all that. Was that what they were doing, or there was another motive? And you can see, want to say anything different, apart from siding with the fact wholeheartedly, right around the time, unfortunately, Kaka lost his life, and some of the things we're advocating for, but I think they changed course. And so they got some of us confused. What is this whole thing up to? And so for me, the state has to do a lot more to, sway the teeming populace, especially the young people, away from some of these things. Because then, if anybody who wants to take advantage of it, it will be a perfect location to recruit extremists and train them and deploy them. Again, I have mentioned, what do you call it, our intelligence setup. Go to our border communities. I mean, people are streaming in and out, in and out. I am aware we are building some forwarding posts for the military, about 15 of them across the borders. But mine is that, yes, as we do this, let's put in countermeasures to ensure that the police officer is policed. You are deploying a military officer who monitors the military officer, that he is not extorting money. Today, I visited an important location of this country. Some security officials who must grant access for me to go were literally begging me for money. So if you have people who are supposed to be paid to perform a function, they see you, and the next thing they see you, boss, they're expecting you to dip your hand in your pocket and give them money. It means I could do that and find a way to get in there and do a lot of things. So mine is that this way. We are doing this conversation. I will tell you that they did this work by themselves. Nobody sponsored them. Not the state, and probably not ECOWAS, not EU. They will be waiting for you to go to some embassy, the European embassy, to go and beg for some 10,000 pounds or dollars to come on.
Right. Let me go to Adib with that. At what point? So, Adib, how prepared and conscious are we as a people by these security threats that looking at most of the factors that have been highlighted, the issues that have been mentioned, and how exactly these problems can be scaled in a way that we're able to finalize at a proper environment that is safe and secure for all Ghanaians. It also looks at recent attacks in Benin, Togo, and Ivory Coast. It highlights some of the determination of terrorists to expand beyond the countries that they presently occupy, and Ghana is one of the countries that they are eyeing. So some of the issues in Ghana include